Okay. Okay, so we're still looking at posture. So looking at posture in pregnancy. Now, depending what job you do, it may end up that you're sitting down an awful lot. So tend to be that you end up sitting with your back at the back of the chair, and also often these chairs have a little tilt up, they're lower at the back and slightly higher at the front, so that when you sit into them, your knees come up slightly, often slightly higher than your hips, and your pelvis then tends to let go and you just sink back. And it's a bit like a bucket chair. So you're sinking, your shoulders roll forwards, your head drops fairly forwards, and your baby just lets go in there. Okay, well this is fine for a little while. The problem with sitting is that your body then adapts into those changes. You shorten here at the front of your hips as you're sitting down all that time, so that then when you stand up again, it's a little bit tight here at the front. And then your back then gets really tight because you can't get forwards with your hips, and your back then stands, and you end up with that lovely pregnancy curve in your back. Okay, so a better position to be in is to sit nearer towards the edge of the chair, so that your knees then get to be lower down on your hips. Your back then flattens out slightly, so you're not sort of tightening up so much into the hip flexors. Okay, your shoulders then open again. You've got that lovely feeling of having a necklace on, lifting that chest up to the ceiling, and your head and neck are longer. So if you find yourself sitting down for long periods, one, you need to get up and stand up and move and change those postures and just do a little bit of pelvic and standing mobility. And also keep coming to the edge of your chair so that you're sitting a little bit straighter, a little bit longer, and that you're not in that curved up bucket chair position. Also, towards the end of your pregnancy, your baby hasn't got as much room in there to turn if you're constantly sitting in this bucket position. Okay, it all gets a bit squashed in there, so babies need to turn to be head down towards from 35, 36 weeks onwards, or they may actually be lying transverse. So if you're then sitting in a bucket seat position, they can't move as much. So coming forwards in sitting lets your abdominals and lets your back open up and lets your abdominal area open up, and it's the same in standing, so it gives the baby more room and more room to move about. Okay. So that's posture in sitting. So thinking about the changes from your head to your shoulders to your pelvis, knees, just being aware and getting that body awareness working all the way through so that you don't end up with these aches and pains and that tightness.